Here's the thing with Tom Aspinall and Ciryl Gane. So, and this has nothing to do with Tom Aspinall. It's completely out of his control. The heavyweight division has never been worse, and he's the king of the shitty division. He's the king, but no one's given him his due because of that. Because if you bring up Tom's record there, Jen, Tom is the king of this division that's kind of boring. There's not a lot of contenders. He's beat everybody in the first round. Andrei Arlovsky, yeah, you know. But so he's starching these guys. But the issue with Tom, again, not his fault. The issue with Tom is his strength of schedule. So we all know Tom's good. We all know Tom is the best we have to offer. If this is 10 years ago, where's Tom at? We don't know, because the guys he's beating, if you've been around the sport long enough, the heavyweight division is the weakest division. So, you know, it's like in a gold medal in the Special Olympics right now. So there's not much we can say about it. The verdict is still out on Tom. He's the best we have. What's that mean? We don't know. We don't know. He's starching everybody, but you know, the guys he's starching, would they even be ranked in the top 10 if this is, 8-10 years ago? Probably not. So again, not Tom's fault. He can only fight who's in his division, who the contenders, how they do. So we know he's good, but the reason why he's not getting his due is because we really haven't seen him get compromised in any facet. We haven't seen him go past the first round and not dominate. You know, that Arlovsky fight ended early in the second round, but he was in control the whole time. So we don't know how Tom's going to react when he gets taken down or when he gets clipped. We don't know. We don't know. So that's why everyone's not. Now, a lot of people are, but there's a reason why the public hasn't been like, yes, that's the end all be all. He's the best in the world. Because unfortunately for Tom, they let Francis get away, and Francis was champ. So we don't know how Francis and Tom would have gone down. We don't know. People can kind of take a guess, but no one really knows. We don't know how Tom would do against Jon Jones. We don't know. So unfortunately for Tom, until he faces those adversaries, he's never going to get his due. Again, completely out of his control. It's not normal. It's not right. This poor dude, they've made him an interim champ. They had him freaking wait forever for Jon just for it not to happen. Then you get a fight nobody's really asking for. And here's what happens with all this. With Tom versus Ciryl Gane, there's so much pressure on Tom. And this is why. Because not only does Tom have to fight this monster, right? Ciryl Gane's a fucking monster, so athletic. Obviously has a lot of holes in his game, but on the feet, the dude can fucking strike. Not only do you have to beat the number one contender, but you have to do it more impressively than Jon Jones did. That's the pressure Tom Aspinall is against. Winning, if you win by decision, it's disaster. If it gets dragged out into the third, fourth round, disaster. Tom Aspinall's challenge this weekend, because again, not his fault, but because he hasn't faced the toughest competition, the marker here is win. Of course, dude, you're heavily favored. No. Of course you got to win. You have to do it more impressively than Jon Jones did, because this is the only opponent you guys have in common that now the public can go, okay, well, they did fight this guy. Jon beat him in, I think, 2 minutes. Choked him out in 2 minutes. Tom not only has to, imagine this pressure. Tom not only has to beat Ciryl Gane, who's an absolute fucking French nightmare, but he has to do it more convincingly than Jon Jones. He has to do it faster and more impressive. So whether it's a knockout right away or he takes him to the mat right away, you have to beat him in under 2 minutes and go. Unfortunately, that's what Tom's dealing with. That's what Tom's dealing with. It sucks. Because, again, if Tom wins via second round submission, but he struggles a little bit, it doesn't do much for him. Even though he gets this win, defends his title, doesn't do much for him. The public's going to go, yeah, but Jon made him look like he's freaking a white belt, dude. You struggled? That's what you're dealing with. So I think for the first time, not only is Tom expected to win, he's the favorite to win, but you're expected to absolutely dominate the way Jon Jones did. He can do it. He can do it. And I know he knows that pressure's there. So already the fans are going, yeah, he's going to beat Ciryl Gane. Yeah. But can he do it under 2 minutes? And can he look more impressive than Jon? Because again, if he struggles, the Jon fight's already kind of in the distance. What Alex did kind of leapfrog Tom. It's just the world we live in. It's not up to me. We all want to see Alex versus Jon. It is what it is. Sorry. But if Tom struggles against Ciryl Gane, that's never happening. If he struggles against Ciryl Gane, there goes any rumors or any gossip around the water cool that he would beat Francis, that he'd beat Jon, for that fact, even beat Alex. It sucks. But that's just the world we live in. So not only do you have to beat the number one ranked heavyweight in the world, but you have to do it under 2 minutes and not get touched. And go. Talk about pressure. But maybe Tom's that guy. Maybe he's as good as advertised. I'm not saying he's not. The only knock on Tom, and it's tough to find anything, is some of his defense. He leads with his chin. You know, there's some holes there when it comes to his stand-up, when it comes to the defensive tactics there. He looks a little exposed at times. Now, maybe he just doesn't have respect for the guys he's fighting, which I can understand, and just is like, they're not going to do shit. Watch this. There's that. Or it is an issue when he fights elite competition. Because, again, if he goes in there and it's 30 seconds in and Ciryl Gane lands some crazy left hook or right hand and wobbles him, nightmare. Even if he were to take him down, choke him out in under 2 minutes, but you get clipped, nightmare. Then the chatter starts, and it's loud. It's loud for Tom. You know? So for the first time, you have a guy who's your champ, but because the UFC fumbled the bag with Francis, because they fumbled the bag with Jon Jones, no one really accepts him as champ, and it fucking sucks, dude. It's not the way this should go down, because he literally, he's the best we have so far. Even though it's this weak-ass competition, he's the champ, man. But no one's really believing that. No one's believing it. So it's his job, unfortunately, because the UFC fumbled the bag on 2 huge fights for him. Not only does he have to win, but he has to beat him more impressively than Jon Jones beat Ciryl Gane. The chips are stacked against Tom. It's a bit of a disaster, but that's the state of the heavyweight division.